Oh, our mighty forests. Um, we're losing thousands of acres of forests due to climate change. Yes, there is climate change. I don't care what a lot of the Christians say. There is climate change out there. We're losing our wheat fields or we're losing the fields that we could plant with wheat because it's too dry to plant wheat. Of course, right now the other day we got 2 feet of snow right in the Rockies, but we needed that in the growing area of where we grow wheat, and didn't occur. And a lot of the time is, well, you got 2, 3, or 4, 5, 10 feet of snow. That's not enough. The Colorado River is the lake was Lake Mead, um, really lowered. I mean, you got 50 feet lower. I mean, it's nice that it was snow enough, rain enough to fill up the lake, but that hasn't happened. California keeps burning now. It's April, March, April. Catches fire. It's burning. Thousands of acres burning. And, well, gee, it's early. Yeah, spring has arrived early. Fire season has arrived early. And thousands of homes are going up in smoke. Why? Well, we'll see. Everything's dried. Everything's brittle. Everything's burnable. And it does burn. Either it's a lightning strike or somebody drops a match out there. I would think that a lot of those are unexplainable. Oh, yeah, up to a point, they're unexplainable. Um, so what are you gonna do? Um, Last year, 2021, the fire season in Russia, they lost 21. They estimated they lost 21 million acres of trees. That is a lot of ash in the atmosphere. That's a lot of release of CO2. That is a lot of cover that was lost from the permafrost. Ouch. In the United States, it's the same way. We're not talking permafrost, but we're talking ground cover. We're talking trees that used to suck up energy of CO2. Not anymore. They were all killed by the beetle. And why was the beetle there? It wasn't cold enough. They expect winters being 20 below zero. It isn't. They expect heavy snowfalls. It isn't. And they mean the heavy fall falls in tens of feet of snow. And we're losing our forests all into Canada. The frost line is moving north. The forests are vanishing. Now, there is always that thing to replant again. But you're going to go in there, spread some seeds around, and these little shoots are going to pop up. But they're not taking up the CO2 that's the mature plants, trees did. Oh yeah, the little green here, yes, the grasslands. They're not trees, and it's getting warmer. Yes, and less rainfall. Yes, and even the big redwoods in California are suffering. I've always had this question: is um, wouldn't it be practical to pipe water into these areas? You know, the trees need water. Okay, pipe water into the area. Drip, drip, drip. You know, um, feed them water. I would think if people would have extra gallons of water when they go hiking in the mountain area, you get all these trees up there that are not getting properly watered. Yeah, you have to go up there and you want to go hiking in the thing, it's required to take a gallon of water with you too. And what? We need these trees water, we need this area water, we need that area water. Uh huh. You got hikers going up there. Well, give them some water. You know, if they're going to take water up there anyway, well, a couple extra bottles of water and feed the trees. Sure would help. In China, the Chinese, the old saying is they lay pipe for farming. I mean, some of these pipes go hundreds of miles, and they need water somewhere. They bring in water. Of course, a lot of the planet is drying up. Even though the rains are there, the water, the rain is not. It's rain is rain there, and the rain's hard. You got a lot of water there, but at the same time, um, it's not where you need the water. The Great Lakes are overflowing, so why don't you transfer some water there? Oh, we can't do that. Why not? You're transporting oil. Why not water? Um, I don't know. It's not nothing I can do about that. I guess I don't know. It's something I can do about the forest. I can watch. I can watch the thing. Oh, but by the way, it's the same thing as I see all these little kids out there saving the planet, which I don't think they realize they're part of the problem. They're consumers, and since the year 2000, we've added 2 billion more plus people to the planet. They all want hot meals. Somehow we're going to save the planet from CO2, right? We're going to have a windmill. That's great. And then we're going to have a solar cells. That's great. And we're going to happen to have, let's see. Oh, there's this one that has, it's a water wheel. Yeah, the spins around and it generates power. And they say you can move them to like a paddle wheel. Okay, and the paddle wheel is basically can be stationary, and they can be on small rivers to generate electricity. And it's of course, as long as the river is flowing, you got electricity, which is a pretty good, clever idea. Um, I'm seeing there in what's it, Africa? They're damming creeks, rivers. In the wet season, they fill up. They have a reservoir behind this stuff, which is, well, why didn't they do that before? Oh no, now they do that. And the advantages of having a reservoir and a river, creek, whatever have it, is that during the dry season, the water's still flowing. They still got water for their crops. And they said, well, somebody had to do that. Somebody had to say, we're going to make a dam here. Um, there are small dams in the United States. People are making small dams. Like, oh, I live along the Des Plaines River in Illinois, and there's little dams there. Of course, they're 10 feet of water behind it, but they're constantly all year long, even during the dry summertime. There's water flowing there. So, um, doing that in the West. They're making dams across rivers. They're not high. They're a couple feet high. They used to have beavers, but they got killed all the beavers. So man-made stuff, and good enough if you have salmon runs, but they're not. And they say, well, that it's a small dam with a small generator for running small, small water generated hydroelectric. Well, it's like, hey, you can run my farm with it with solar cells, wind power, and they're going to do it that way. But of course, they should have done that long ago. Um, and they say that basically this thing is that they're doing selected burning, like the American Indians used to do, and like what they do in Australia, um, selected burning. So if there's a lightning strike, um, you don't have a forest fire. But they say, whoa, well, yeah. Um, but that's the thing. But if you look at the amount of acreage lost last year, and thousands of square miles of forest went up in smoke, along with the homes that were there. If I lived in a forest, I can guarantee you I want to see all that brush gone. But you couldn't do it. You can't cut down the dead tree. They won't let you do it. I guess the policy has changed right now because all the dead trees burned up with all the homes that were there. Hey, hey, I see brush, dry brush in farmers' fields. Why weren't that cut down? I don't know. I guess they're not allowed to cut the brush down. I mean, it's winter time, it's fall time. In the area that I live around in Illinois, the forests they do selected burning uh, uh, in the springtime when it's a little dry outside. They burn sections of the forest land. Big sections of forest land is burned. Small sections at a time, but get that thing to prevent a forest fire. And yeah, um, a lot of trees have died. They go in there, they cut down the trees. They don't let the brush pile up. Um, Areas that are that open. Now, see, along the Des Plaines River, there used to be a lot of farm fields, but areas that along those things, um, they burn the grasslands every couple of years to keep it from accumulating. You know, uh, because hey, they could have forest fires, which could be extremely dangerous because Chicago is to the west of these Des Plaines, to the east of the Des Plaines River. Yeah, it could be extremely dangerous if you have a big forest fire. Well, you know, the forest only stands a half a mile on either side of if that, maybe a quarter mile of the river. But hey, oh well, we get to all sit there and watch our world fall apart, and that's awful. Well, we did it upon ourselves, and we knew what was going on. What's that? CO2 is what 413 parts per million. Wow. Well,